last episode, I mentioned that as Debikay, we received two very large sectional paper machine drive systems, Rayalaseema paper and Bhadrachalam paper boards. Obviously, as Debikay, we did have our own technology, which we had already applied in smaller paper mills. But this was a prestigious and two very large orders, and therefore we felt we should find another partner, a foreign partner to work with who has a lot of experience in the paper industry. We scouted for partners, and finally, we zeroed in on CGEE Alsthom of France. CGEE Alsthom was a part of Alsthom SA of France, but specializing in industrial systems, industrial drives and marine products. We had a technical collaboration with them which was approved by the Government of India, and then we offered the systems, essentially importing the main electronic parts and making the systems in India. That was the first time that probably an industrial electronics company outside India had a technical collaboration other than other foreign companies which are already operating in India like Siemens, Cutler-Hammer, etc. So when we approached Alsthom, they mentioned that they would like to work along with us, not only for the paper industry, but they would like to work along with us for other industries also. So the first job that we did along with Alsthom was for Bhadrachalam paper boards and Rayalaseema paper mill. With technical support from Alsthom, we were able to execute the projects for both Rayalaseema paper and Bhadrachalam paper quite successfully. Around the same time, armed with the technical support from CGEE Alsthom, we bid for another big job with Indian Aluminium. It was for a high-speed 4-high aluminium foil mill. It was a pretty complicated drive system because it was a very high speed, and then it was a foil of very, very thin thickness. And not many companies in the world had experience for it. Alsthom did have some experience in France, while the other big players like GE, ABB, Siemens, worldwide, they were all having a lot of experience. So it was some sort of a global tender where we as Debikay offered along with technical collaboration with CGEE Alsthom. It was quite interesting because, for the first time we were offering such a large system in India, and we were competing against giants from all over the world. Indian Aluminium, they were very neutral. They were giving opportunities to all. And, for about 6 months, we were following up on a daily basis, going there in the morning and afternoon, both technically to start with and then commercially. It was a great experience for me personally, and I think I learnt a lot during the course of negotiations and technical discussions with them. We had a wonderful team led by P.K. Dasgupta, whom we used to call as Raja, Satya, and myself doing the commercial. And we were, of course, fully supported by Alsthom technically. The discussions used to go on for hours and days. And after this experience, of course, we did get the order. It was an order that I would say changed the way Debikay looked at the manufacturing sector and drive systems. And this particular order, actually we did it along with Alsthom at Taloja in Maharashtra, and it was executed brilliantly by P.K. Dasgupta with the support from Alsthom. Of course, at the end of the commissioning was over, and when everything was over, Alsthom offered a job to Dasgupta in France, and Dasgupta, of course, left for France. He joined Alsthom, and later, many years later, he became the managing director of one of the companies that was spun out of it in the name of Converteam. After we did the job at Taloja, a huge amount of opportunities started coming for Debikay, and we were offering for rolling mills, for hot mills, for hot strip mills, etc. Around the same time, there was also demand coming for tire plants. And here, one of the funny part would be that when we went to a tire plant to tell them that, we would offer that our system for their line, they told us that, look, have you any experience in a tire plant? We said, no, we don't have any experience, but we have done very similar type of systems in the paper mill and for rolling mills, etc. And the manager there told me that, look, you may have experience in paper. In paper, if the speeds doesn't synchronize, then what will really happen is the paper will break, and that the essentially the drive is faulty. In steel, of course, if you went and did something, it's so huge that there will always be a case where the whole system will stall, etc., and you will know that there's something wrong. But in a tire industry where actually you're dealing with rubber, if there is no synchronization, the process will still go on, but the end product will be defective. So, from the electrical point of view, all were same. We were all talking about signals and 4 to 20 milliamperes and biasing and things like that. But when it came to industry and domain experience, you needed a lot of domain knowledge to really talk to the experts in respective industries. This is something which we learned right in the beginning, and we continued to learn as we went along. We did receive the order from the tire plants, and there was no looking back for Debikay. We had orders not only from paper, steel, we also had from cement, we had from other material handling industry, and many more industrial applications. And we were one of the leading companies for drives in India around that time. And we were always looking for opportunities for growth. And this came in the form of PLCs, which I will explain to you in the next episode.